Come on, Facebook. We are live on Facebook, woohoo! And I will be on YouTube when the adverts are finished. There we go. Good evening, everybody. Oh, crikey, there's a few of you waiting already. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Anna. So let's just pop over to YouTube while everybody gets logged in on Facebook. Right, so hi, Elizabeth, Audrey, Carol, Margaret, Audrey, Audrey again, Pat, Sally Ann, Paula, Saz, Joan, oh, it's going too quick now, Rob, Dawn, Elizabeth, David, what are you doing on YouTube? That confused me. Oh, here we go. Good evening, everybody. Right, it'll take me far too long to scroll back up. How are you enjoying the weather? I'm not. I'm waiting for it to rain. Now, if I was on holiday, I would love it, but not here. It's giving me a bad head. Let's take this off while everybody gets logged in. Oh, David, you're in both places. Now, that's really going to freak me out. Hi, Leslie, and to everybody I've not spoken to, Jean, Helen, Julia, Leslie, Helen. That's it, you're all starting to get logged in. I was going to cancel tonight, but I'd already done the posters, the little banners, because I've got a fuzzy head, which is I'm going to blame on the weather and obviously not having a day off. I love the sunshine and I love the warm weather, but not when I've got a bad head. Hi, Pamela, Pam, Lee, Emma, bless you. Hi, Anne. How's the weather there, Anne? Hi, Sue, Jeanette. Right, everybody's starting to get here now. Friday rain. Or Friday train, dear me. Where have you been, Rob? For the cricket? It's too hot for me. I don't actually mind. I like the heat. I just don't like the associated humid weather that we get here. That's what gives me fuzzy heads. Getting acclimatised with your holidays. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you, Elena. Not back. Oh, bless you. Hi, Sandra, Heather. Right, so we've got a little bit of a change tonight. I was trying to think of something that would be nice and easy to do. Yeah, it is muggy. It's not good for my head now. That's all right. Hi, Caroli from Majorca. The water in Majorca don't taste like what it oughta. There you go. Hi, G. Heading for 101 this afternoon. Oh, crikey, Anne. It's different when you're abroad, though. It's nice. It's nice heat when you're abroad. Although I've got a friend who lives in Texas and she's always complaining about the weather, and she's always jealous when I say it's rainy, and even more jealous when I say it's snowing. Yeah. So tonight, I'm going to aim to try and get done for about 8:30 tonight. I think I need a rest. It is a warm evening. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Deirdre. Pleased to know that. What did I just miss there? Oh, bless him. Yeah, oh yeah, I've got one, Zoe. I don't even know where. I've got some of the little sachets that you can buy as well. Oh, hang on. Just catch up. Oh, bless you. Rob's team got beat at the cricket, so he's in a bad mood now. Can't find the live on Facebook. It's on the Sentimentally Yours page, Sharon. You just have to refresh the page, I think. Jennifer, even filling everyone if it's too hot and humid. Yeah, it does give you a fuzzy head. It'll be nice when it cools down later. But anyway, enough about bad heads and moaning about the weather, aren't we British? It's too hot, too cold, too wet, too snowy, too windy. You can't win. Yeah, I know Margaret Rufus used to be the same. If you remember, he was a big Bernese mountain dog, so he hated the heat. Doing your cogs like Phil's, happy hour, they were drying really quickly. Yeah, it dries too quickly sometimes. Anyway, so let's get on with the task in hand. So I thought, oh, let's do a little concertina. Let's do something a little bit different. And it's dead easy to do. There are 8 panels I've got to do for this card, but it's actually a really nice one. Now, what I've done, I'll tell you the size, just in case you want to replicate this. So I've made this fit from an A4 piece of card. So you can see that I have chopped it down in height as well. So if you remember when we do 3-panel concertina cards, we score it at DL. So all I've done with this is I've cut it to 28 centimeters. So in inches for Jean. Oh, Jean is about 11 inches long. That's a little bit more. About 11 inches, Jean will say. 11 inches long and 6 inches tall. So for everybody in centimeters, it's 28 by 15. So 28 across by 15 high. And the beauty of this little project is you can do it absolutely any size that you want it to be. Yeah, 8 panels, Wendy, but they won't take they won't take long, I promise. Well, famous last words. Yeah, so the beauty of this project is you can do it absolutely any size that you want. You can scale it up, scale it down, make it square, just by the measurements that you choose. So you just need to remember that you need panels that are the same size for it to look proper, for it to look like it makes sense. 11 is okay. Yeah, I think we could cope with 11, Jean. Jean's after an 11-incher, just so everybody knows. Good luck with that, Jean. Yeah, it is dry heat abroad, yeah. It's completely different. It's funny because I never get a migraine when I'm away on holiday. With the heat, it's very strange. Very strange. Hi, Rita. Hi, Joanne. So, good evening to everybody who's just got here. Oh, bless you, Helen. Right, yeah, so my score lines are at 7. So this is, I've got 4 panels, well, I've got 8 panels because I'm doing both sides. So the score lines are at 7, 14 and 21. So that gives me 4 panels of 7 by 15, 7 by 15, 7 by 15 and 7 by 15. 8 if you're doing the other side, which I am doing tonight, but it is really, really quick-ish. So my panels, instead of doing, because I'm doing a concertina that is going to fold like this, instead of doing two layers for each panel, for each section like I would normally do, I've just done 1. So that will keep it relatively flat. I mean, there's no envelope this size, I don't think. So had I have done this, it could be less screen time. Hi, Mel. It could be less screen time. I've just caught Jean's comment. You are funny. Yeah, so there's no envelope this size, but obviously you could make a little box dead easy for something this small. You'd be able to do it from 2 sheets of A5, so 1 sheet of A4. So I've created my little card blank. Now there's a couple of ways you can display these as well, which I really, really like. So if you do it this way, obviously, if it's stood on your shelf like this, whoever you're sending this to is going to see all 4 panels. But equally, if you turn it the other way, you've got an in shot. So the inside is an in shot. Now, I remember years ago when we did a class at my shop in Nottingham, my first shop in Nottingham, we did 2 of these. So we created 2 of these panels. Put the other one, I should have done it. No, I'm not going to do it. I'll do it as a new video for you at some point. But we created 2 of these panels, stuck one on top of the other, but we had an aperture in the middle. So you ended up with like a a diamond in the middle, and it was lovely, and it still folded flat. If I get time, famous last words, but if I get time, I will do a video on that. I will do a video on that, because that's actually a really nice project. In fact, I wonder if it's a nice workshop project. Ooh, I'm just going to write that down. Thank you, Emma, by the way. I did see your message this morning. I'd got 17 messages to look at. Let me just write this down, because I think that's a really good idea. There you go. I'm going to tear that off and stick that on my little stickers. There you go. That's a little reminder for myself. So that's my Concertina card. It's lovely. It folds flat, and you can display it whichever way you want. I've got two of the texture dies, two of the new texture dies here. Yeah, absolutely you could, Jean. Yeah, easily you could. I've got two of the new texture dies. I forgot what this one's called. Ornate Circles, I think. This is the new one. So for anybody who hasn't got the new texture dies yet, you know what I'm going to say. They're nearly all gone. I won't be reordering them anytime soon either. So if you're still umming and ahhing, or you're hankering after them, I know, Gene, I should do that. August the 14th. That's the day before my birthday. So for anybody who's hankering after the new texture dies, I'm going to just grab a quick link for you, because they're nearly all gone. How do I do that? Bear with me 1 second. New arrivals, June. Here we go. So looking at this, we've still got the little 15% discount on the trio. That will be coming off this week. So same for you on YouTube. So I've just popped you the link on for the new texture dies. When I say we've not got many left, I mean literally hardly any. So I've got the ornate circles there, and I've just cut myself a few of the cogs from the Lots of Cogs dies. Now a lot of people bought this the other day when I was using it, so thank you for that. And I think we've now only got 2 of these left. I did have them out to show you. We've now only got 2 of this set left. It was 4 yesterday, but it's 2 now. So there is a link for these in the description of the video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. So I would grab them while you can. So enough of the selly for now. Let's get on with some work. So the clue is in the title for the video this evening. I'm using my Sunflower Parade stamps. So as ever, Karen has given you a lovely 30% off code for the sunflower stamps that I am using this evening. And because I knew ahead of time today, here we go. So if you haven't got any of the sunflower stamps and you want to get some, you can get 30% off them when you check out. Just put the code sunflowers in your checkout code thingy, Bobby Doodah, and you'll get 30% off any of these stamps that I'm about to show you. So I'll pop that back on later, but at the minute it's doing my head in. I think that's a really nice thing to do. 30% off whatever I'm using. I think that's marvellous. You've got my sister to thank for that, because I wouldn't do it. So we are using the Sunflower Parade stamps, and you know I absolutely love them. I love sunflowers full stop, and I love the colours of these stamps as well. So when you colour sunflowers in, the yellows and the oranges, I think are absolutely fabulous. And that's the theme that I'm going with tonight. So I'll do a quick flick before I get on with my demo, just to show you what I'm talking about when I say Sunflower Parade. So Sunflower Parade is all these different main focal images, and these are all A6 stamps, so they're not massive. Hi Elaine, somebody else said that, Elaine. It is there. You might just need to go on the Sentimentally Yours page and refresh it. The videos, the live videos, are usually at the top of the page when I go live. So you've got four main focal images that all feature different sunflowers. 2, 3, and 4. So this is the only one that I designed as a landscape version. That's the one that's got the word sunflower written in it. I'm going to use all 4 of these. You've also got these ones that I'm showing you now. Oh no, not these. You've got the background with the layering sunflower heads. So again, this is an A6 stamp, and these sunflowers are all dimensional, so it looks like it's really multi-layered when you stamp it. Then you've got the enchanting background, which is all the little elements. So all these little elements that you see on the main focal image stamps, all these little bits and bobs and things, they're all featured within this background. It's another A6 one. I love sunflowers, always have done, Susan. I've always loved sunflowers. The detail in these stamps, as you would expect, is incredible as well. So that is the second background. And then you've got these two here. So these 2 stamp sets were not featured on television. These were limited editions that we did just for ourselves and for our retail stockists. So you've got the Sunflower Script Sentiments, which you have seen me use before. So these are hand-doodled script sentiments. Very pretty. And then you've got the extra, I called it Fabulous Blooms. So you've got the extra flower heads, which are fabulous for using on your envelopes. So you can do the sunflower on the flap of the envelope, etc, etc. And obviously you can stamp these and fussy cut them out, which I think is bloody marvellous. So any of these this evening, if you use that code, you will get 30% off them. What a bargain. What a bargain. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by the colours. So the colours of the VersaFine Clay, because I know you like to know, are Summer Fine, Summertime, and Cheerful. Summertime and Cheerful. Surprise, surprise, they are yellow and orange. What a shocker. And then I'm also using the VersaFine Onyx Black to stamp my images. So I'm going to do this with my acrylic block rather than on the platform because it will be quicker. So the reason I wanted to do this card tonight is if you look at these panels, I wanted to show you how you can use these A6 stamps on smaller pieces. So you can see, look, that this is not going to fit on there. And one of the good things about my stamps, these in particular, I just think they're stunning, is we can now choose which segment I want. So I'm going to be stamping these off the corner, down the edge, maybe in the centre. So every one of them is going to look different. Now there are, remember I told you, there are 4 main focal images. So I'm going to use the main focal images tonight rather than the backgrounds, which means I can do the same thing roughly twice for the front and back of this card. Does that make sense? It did in my head. Emma, you don't have any of the sunflowers. Imagine saying that publicly. I love sunflowers. If ever you need to buy me flowers, so I love sunflowers. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. Just like yesterday's colours, Sharon. That's it. You've got it. So you've got no excuse, Sharon. You'll know how to colour these in. So I'm going to do these on my acrylic block. Remember, there is one that was designed horizontally, But it actually doesn't matter if you stamp it vertically. Look, the word sunflower would just be vertical rather than horizontal. So let's just, it really doesn't matter which part we do from this either. It's all gonna look fabulous. Well, you know I love these sunflower stamps. You've seen me using them a lot. Hi Sarah, not to worry. So I know that I want this section here with the clocking. So I'm gonna ink this half. I'm being very brave and doing it without my platform. And you know why I'm using the VersaFine, because I am going to colour these in, but I am going to use the chalky acrylic paints to do a watery background over the top of them. I'm just going to stand up to do this. So I don't know why I'm trying to make it straight, because it really doesn't matter. So straight away we've taken an A6 stamp and made it look smaller. Oh, look at that. Look at the detail in these stamps, everybody. So I'm going to do another one, the same as that, but on the other side. So I'm going to use the other half of the stamp this time. So I don't want the clock side. So effectively I'm using the same stamp twice, but using different areas from it. And I'm going to stamp it this way. So let's try and get a bit less on this one, just because we can. Oh, let me put it back on for you. There you go. Just while I'm stamping, I'll put that back on for you. It's when you check out. So when you check out, it asks you if you've got a promo code or anything like that. Oh, look. So this is the same stamp, but it looks completely different. Isn't that clever? Love it. So I'll sit back down just while I clean this stamp. The detail's incredible, thank you Emma. It is, and I think this is something that I take a lot of time. These stamps, although they are quite busy with all the little extras and everything around them, they do actually take a long time to do, because you know me well enough to know that I place everything where I want it. So let's just pop that back where it belongs. And then I'll start with the next one. I can't choose a favourite because I love them all, but I can guarantee whichever ones you go for, they're going to be fabulous. So I'll put that to one side. I'll move those to one side, and then I'll bring in the next stamp. So this is the one that is I'm going to have to shut my curtains in a minute. Do you know, I looked outside before I started the live and thought, oh no, there's no sun tonight. And what's just happened? The sun's shining. So this is the one that I designed horizontally. And I think I am going to use it that way. So now we're creating two panels, but making them look different again. Oh, you found me now. So, let me just see where I'm going with this. So I want to try and get that word sunflower in. I'm not very good at quick cards, am I? So I'll just do this here. I know it's upside down, but that's just so I can see where I'm stamping. So I want the word sunflower And I do need to try and make sure the word sunflower is relatively straight, although it doesn't matter much. Oh, look at that. I'll just do this next one and then I'm just going to run across and shut my curtains. So for the other side, I'm going to do the bottom, and I'll do the bottom just like that. So again, two different looks. Oops. Two different looks from the same stamp. And that's just by changing the position. It's very clever. Hi, Dawn. I'm jealous of where you live, Elaine. I like Barnstaple, Willicombe, Ilfracombe. And please don't tell me that you live at Barnstaple, Elaine, or Ilfracombe or Willicombe, because I'll be even more jealous. Ilfracombe is probably my favourite. So, oh, look how gorgeous these stamps are. Look, look. Oh, it's so beautiful. And I've used these a lot, but every time you stamp them, you're like, yeah, they're stunning. And it makes the job easier as well, because they're dead easy to colour in. Just move that out of the way so I don't get my wet fingers on it. Put that one back where it belongs. Oh, yeah, I do know that, Elaine. I'm still jealous. Still jealous. Is that sunshine bothering you all? Or does it matter? Is that sunshine bothering you all? Let me know, because I'll shut the curtains if it does. And then on to the last one. Oh, not the last one, the next one. Oh, I've just done that. Next one. So this one is, see, look at these two. These two are designed to be either direction. No, it's fine. Okay, I'll just leave it then. If it gets too bright, I will close it. So on with the next one. So this one that I'm stamping now has got a part of the design that is straight up and down the middle, so I need to make sure I keep that straight. I'm just going to pop these to one side. Remind me to clean my fingers before we start doing any other work. Shine away. So let's just see which part I want for this. Oh, I like it both ways. I think I'm going to have the sunflower at the top. Oops. So I'm going to have the sunflower at the top. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to contradict myself. I'm going to do this at the bottom. I'm going to do this at the bottom. So this one will be a fuller panel. So I'm just making sure that that's straight, because it's got to be done. Let's come off the page. Same as we have with the others. So I've just come off the page with that one. Look, they're just beautiful. I know I keep saying it, but they are. So I'm doing the stamping first, just so that I can leave them to dry a little bit longer. And then I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do the corner. let's do the corner with this one. You could absolutely do this just with a couple of the stamps. Would you know that was the same stamp? How would you? You wouldn't. And then the last two, it's very easy for me when I've got all the stamps here, I know that, but 30% off is not to be sniffed at. It's quite a good discount there. And again, you know who you've got to thank for it. And then last one. And this one's a little bit thinner, so this is a thinner image and a slightly smaller sunflower. And I'm going to do this one horizontally, I think. We'll just check the image. Can I do that horizontally? I'm going to do it on an angle. Do this one. Oh no, I'm not, because it'll confuse me. It's got a line down the middle, so I can't do it on an angle. It would hurt my brain. And then the last one. I know I'm too fussy for my own good. Let's do the top part of this. So I'm going to go to the bottom part of this card and stamp just half of the sunflower, just like that. Oh yeah, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, so now we are done with that stamping. So let me just tell you why I've done the stamping first. A, to give the ink time to dry before I start colouring it in. VersaFine does dry quick, especially in this heat. But we are going to put chalky paints over the top of it. So the reason I'm doing the stamping after, the chalky paints after, is because I want to colour, I want to dull some of the blackness from the stamp. And the chalky paints will just soften it a little bit. Oh, that's wore me out. That's like a week at the gym, that. So I'm just going to clean my fingers before we start. Like a week at the gym doing all that stamping, I'll tell you. Yeah, the code is... There you go. I've just popped it back on again. I've just popped the little banner thing back on. So I'm just cleaning my fingers because VersaFine is notorious for getting on your fingertips. Yeah, that's fine. Sorted. Right, now we're going to start introducing some chalky paints. So you all saw the show that I did with Dean the other day, where we're showing you the next or the latest 15 colours. Now obviously I released them to you guys first, so you will have seen them. I've got the wrong glasses on. It's remarkable that I've managed to do that stamping with the wrong glasses on. Even more so because I've got a headache and I didn't even notice. So these are now the current 45 colours in the chalky paints. I'll just do a flip over for you. So these are the current 45 colours. Oh, take that off. And I want... Do I want that one? I might find a softer one. Bear with. Bear with. Yes, we are going to go with No, I'm not. That's not bright enough. I'll go with banana split. And I am going to include a little bit of green. Let's have the... No, not that one. I want sage. Why have I got two? Why have I got two the same? That's just pure greed, Phill Martin. Sage. So subtle sage. I might change that yellow. Lemon drizzle. Yeah, let's have that. So I've got lemon drizzle, subtle sage, and whatever that orange one was. Perfectly pumpkin. Perfectly pumpkin. And we're going to add a little bit of stenciling now to these panels. It doesn't matter whether I mix these up or not because it's all going front and back. Do you want me to use the No, the Miami Peach is too soft. I need it to be orange. So perfectly pumpkin because I need a proper orange. Miami Peach is a little bit, surprise, surprise, peachy. So I am using the Sophistication Slender Stencil, which is one of my faves. I've avoided on purpose the Machination Stencil, which is the one with the gears on it and the cogs, because I am going to add some gears and cogs to this card when we've finished it. So for quickness, I might do the sponge. No, I'm not. I'm going to stick to what I like. And I'm going to use my brushes because I've got more time. So I am going to stipple some of this stencil through. And you'll notice I'm doing the stenciling before I do the watery background, and I'm doing that on purpose. Never been inside a gym. Now I'll tell you a story about the gym. I mean, years ago, what's a gym? Years ago we signed up for David Lloyd, and I did used to go quite regularly, I must admit, and I enjoyed it once I got there, but it was an effort to get there. And then it got to where I'd not been for a week, not been for a fortnight, not been for a month, and then it got to like over a year, and I thought I probably need to cancel that subscription. So all I'm going to do with this is, I've just mentioned to you that I'm doing the stenciling before we do the watery background. And the reason I'm doing that is because when the water catches, when I eventually dab it in the water, where it's already been stenciled, it's going to reactivate the paint and make it a little bit more watery, and that's exactly what I want. So clearly I'm not going to cover that lovely stamp. So I'm just going to do bits, and this is why the DL ones are so good. The design is a little bit smaller, and it's perfect for this size of card. So I'm just going to do a little bit, and what I'll do is I'll do all the lemon first. I'll do all the lemon first on all of them, and then I will come back to them all and do the orange. The subtle sage is for the watery background, just to introduce a new colour. Now this is quicker if you do it with a sponge, with the cut and dry foam, but personally I like the dappled texture you get from the brush. Oh, that's lovely. So I'm just going to repeat that. Let me just speed it up a little bit. You know, when I said I'm going to aim to be done for... If you've not had the new colours of the chalky paints, treat yourself to a set. They're absolutely stunning. So you can see I'm not trying to cover the whole thing. It's just in the background. It's so easy to do this. let me just flick back over to everybody on. Yeah, I've just started some new ones, Emma. Phill, I want to know if anything... Oh, thank you, Sherry. I just had to figure that you meant it to look that way. So we're now going around the stencil, around the main image with the stencil. And these lovely soft colours are perfect because we're going to have the brightness. The brightness is going to be coming from the sunflowers when I colour them in. So this lovely stipple gives you a nice texture. It's almost like a bonus. It's almost like a bonus effect just from using a brush rather than a sponge. Here we go. This project is really, really, really easy to do. So let's have a little bit up here. You can do this as well, look. So you can drag your brush through, which is a little bit quicker. But I want the stipply texture. Oh, getting through them. Just one thing to remember, try and keep the stencil roughly the same. Well, this is just me. Roughly the same place on each layer, just so that it follows through. Oh, let me just tell you about... Has anybody watched the latest Bridgerton? Now, I love Bridgerton, and I'd known that the new season was on since it first came out, and I've tried to avoid it because I like to watch it in winter. Anyway, I've ended up watching, well, I've watched 5 episodes into, I've got the last episode to watch tonight, but it was a raunchy season. For anybody who doesn't know what Bridgerton is, get on Netflix, but you've got to watch it from the beginning. Right, so is that all 8? Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's not. 7, 8. I knew I'd get ink where I didn't want it. You need to watch it, Rob. But you need to watch it from the beginning. When you get a rainy day, binge watch it. But I love period dramas anyway. I loved the other one. I forgot what they called it now. I loved the other one that they did, but I forgot what they call it. Last one, and then I'm going to move on to the orange. So remember, when the beauty of these stencils is they're so easy to line back up again. So I'm going to be able to go to just use the colour that's on the card to line it up. And then introduce the orange. Marvellous. I'm just going to put that in the water brush. Downton, no, the other one, not Mr. Darcy. The other one. Paul, I've not seen any of them. I thought they were... Well, this one particularly, Paula, was very raunchy. Even made me blush. Now that takes some to Crime dramas. Oh yeah, I loved that, Hope. Yeah, I love Downton Abbey. I couldn't get into Gilded Age, Audrey. I've still got it on record. Sanditon, that's it. Yeah, I loved Sanditon. Right, so I'm now just going to introduce some of the orange. Now, obviously the orange is a stronger colour. So I'm literally just going to dapple where I've already been with the yellow. Just so we get some flecks of orange. So this is where the two colours start coming together. And anybody who watches me or knows me will know that I adore yellow and orange together. Oh, that is so good. Look how easy that was. Pride and Prejudice, that's going back a bit. So now I'm going back in. Told you it was easy to line up. That's it. That's lined up. So don't overdo the orange because it's a stronger colour. And I might change my mind because I was going to do a watery background. But do you know what? I think I might not. I think I might just do a watery on the cogs that I've die cut because that looks really rather lovely. So it does. And don't worry about your stencils. All of my paints are water based. So this will literally just wash off under a hot running water or in the sink or whatever you do with them. So I'm just whizzing through. Oops, that's far too much orange there, Phill. Yeah, I knew I put too much orange on that part. Not to worry. Yeah, they are perfect sunflower colours. Now, when I colour my sunflowers in, I like more orange than yellow. So I tend to have a yellow petals, but quite orange in the middle. Look how easy it is to do. I'll pop that. Let me just pop that back on for you. Just while I'm yakking. It's dead easy to line up, he says. There you go. I've just popped the code on for you again. So any of the sunflower stamps, any of them, regardless of whether I'm using it or not, put sunflowers in your code when you're checking out and you'll get a lovely 30% discount. How good is that? So nearly done. Nearly done. For some reason, I don't know whether you can see this. Can you see the top of my lid? Can you see it's got that dark colour underneath it? I think I must have used the gunmetal at some point and tarnished my lid, which is shameful. So I'm not really applying any pressure when I do this. I'm literally just dabbing. And it dries in seconds. I'm just trying to line that up. There we go. I'm not faffing, but I did just faff then. It's a Phill faff. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So they are all done. They're all done. Let me just clean that up. And we've got 2 more little jobs to do to that. So originally, I told you what my plan was originally, but that's quite pretty on its own. Look. Originally, my plan was to do a watery background on that, but I think I've changed my mind. So I am going to splat that, and I'll do them all in one go. And I'm doing all the splatting and the chalky paint things. I'm doing all the paint jobs, just so that you know this. Thank you. I'm doing all the paint jobs before I do the colouring in, yeah? So after I've splattered some of this orange and yellow paint on here, I'm going to colour over it with my watercolour pens. So I've just popped them in my inky box. My inky box that the cat's taken as a bed. And we are going to splat with the yellow. I'm not using my stipple brushes for this, I am going to use a fan brush. I'll do the yellow first. Phil's faffs. It does sound like a good show. So I'm going to do the lemon first. And the bit that's left over, I'm going to mop up with these cogs. Oops, I've just kicked my keyboard. I'll just move that. Oops. I don't know where that went, but it certainly didn't go on the cards. I can't even see it. Hang on a minute. Look. I look like I've been decorating. I can promise you it's 30, 40 years since I decorated. I've got many skills, but decorating isn't one of them. Let me just check that. Oh yeah, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I've just missed a bit there. Oh, that's so pretty. Right, so I'll just leave that for a second, and the bit that's left over, we will mop up with the cogs. So the die cut cogs, we're just going to mop this up. So it's 2 birds, 1 stone. A kitchen roll. Did I say I was going to try and get done for 8:30? Well, that's never going to happen. So I'm going to make that a little bit more watery. These are going in the orange as well, but it makes sense to do it. It makes sense to do it while you've got the waste on there. Don't you just love paints that do with basically everything that we've done with these paints is what you would traditionally do with an ink pad. I think that's marvellous. I'm going to pause for a breath in a minute. So we'll just clean that. And then we'll go in with the orange. Now remembering that the orange is a stronger colour, so I'm probably going to dilute this a little bit more. He says, keep bringing more paint out. Yeah, spot on. This brush is too big, by the way, that's why I couldn't direct the splats. That looks so good, and it's just enough. Oops, that was a big splat. Apologies, sunflower. Right, same again. Mop it up. I've not looked at anything you've said to me for the last 10 minutes because I've been doing this, but I will in a second. More water. More paint, and I've just put it in the water thing. So I'm literally just dragging it through. I'm not trying to cover the whole thing. If we've got any little bits of white, that's good. Incidentally, you're probably wondering where these cogs are going to go. I'm not going to use them all, obviously, but it's better to do too many whilst you've got all these products out. And the last one. Marvellous. Marvellous. And we'll leave these to dry naturally. I've not used the sage after all that. I'll bring these in and show you, just so you can see how much. I've got orange splats all over the place. Oh, that's made it worse. Aren't you glad I made the effort? Caroline, I'll be doing some decorating this week. Hubby and my brother had to put in a new shower tray, which meant the wall clad. Oh my word. They cut it about 6 inches short. Oh my word, Caroline. Now, Caroline, if that happened to me, I'd be on the phone to somebody to come and do it for me. Right. So, let's just show you what I did with these. You can see it's starting to dry in already, apart from the ones that are really wet. So, these cogs are going to go on the edges of some of the edge of some of the panels, but I'm only using half of them. So when I was cutting these, I cut all the ones that I thought I would use once, and then in my head I thought, right, well, I know I'm going to get twice as much because I'm only going to use half of these, but just to cover myself, I did another set. So let's just pop that over there, make sure that's dry. I'm going to bring my panels back in now, and the bits that are not dry are going to be force dried. Look. In fact, that is dry. That one's not quite dry, so let's work with this one. So we'll start with this one first, and we can start the colouring in. So I'm literally using the watercolour blending brush pens for this. Facebook was freezing up for you. Beats not heats, maybe I've got to, yeah, maybe you have. Do they take long to dry? No, the chalk paints dry really, really quickly. My head is still on. But you know me, I don't give in unless I absolutely have to. So we are colouring these with the watercolour blending brush pens. And for those people who were on the class yesterday, they now know how to do this perfectly. But I'm going to do this quickly. So, not that one. That's a perfect yellow. I want a medium orange. Yeah. And then I want a darker orange. Is that too dark? Yeah, it's too dark. Perfect. Perfect. So I'm going to literally cut... Oh, I need a brown. I need a brown for the centre. I'm literally just going to colour these sunflowers in now. So remember at the beginning I told you that I'd done all the chalky jobs first. So I'm actually going to paint over all these little splats. I'm going to colour over them, sorry, with the watercolour pens. So what we should end up with, we should still keep these splats underneath the pen. So the pen won't interfere with them. The pen won't interfere with the paint. It will obviously just change the colour because I'm going over it. Get a drink, Phil. Thank you, Jan. I think that's the problem for a lot of people, Audrey, choosing colours. So normally, this is not watercolour card, this is just basic, this is just my ice white card. So I'm not going to go too mad with the blending and everything. But what I am going to do is colour this really, really quickly. And for me, the very fact that I'm colouring over paint, remember I'm colouring over chalky paint. I mean, I don't need to sell these pens to you, you know how fabulous they are. But I'm now colouring over a different medium in the chalky paint. And I'm going to show you this in a second because it looks absolutely fantastic. And take it from somebody who's done this for a long, long, long time. This is something special. It doesn't happen with lots of products. So let me just colour this. Let me just put this first coat on. This won't take me long to... Well, look how quick that was. I'm colouring direct onto the card. I'm not watercolouring it. Make sure I've not missed a petal. Are you ready for this? Yeah, absolutely, Hope. It's the best thing to do, a little colour swatch for yourself. So can you see the paint underneath? It's still there, look. How amazing is that? So I'm just going to go in with my next colour. I'm just going to do this really quickly. So I'm not worrying too much about shading and everything. I'm just chucking the colour on. And then the next colour, which is the darker one. Just because I like a bit of orange at the centre of my sunflowers. I'm doing this super, super quick. And then I'm going to go over it with the yellow again. It looks, I'm going to bring this in and show you a close-up in a minute because it looks fantastic. Easy peasy. If you haven't got any of these sunflower stamps, you need them. I'm just colouring the centre. That's taken me literally seconds. That's taken me seconds to do that. I'm going to bring the others in and see if there's another one that's dry. Yeah, that one's dry. Oh, it looks the same. Well, similar. It's a different stamp. So I'm just going to quickly whiz through this. Exactly the same way. No skill involved. I'm literally just chucking the colour on from the pen. Anybody can do this if you've got these pens. And you know what I'm going to tell you, if you haven't got the pens, you need to treat yourself. Have I missed a petal? Yes, I have. So on with the next one. I'm not shading, I've told you, I'm just chucking the pen on. And then the stronger one, just a little bit in the middle. Remember, this is the majority of the work for this Concertina card. All I've got to do after I've done the panels is stick the cogs on, and I'm not using them all, I'm only using a couple, and they're gonna go on the edges of here. I can't tell you how fabulous this looks. I wish you could see this in real life. That's number 2 done. I'm just making sure that none of the bits are... No, they're all dry now. You've got all 4 pen sets. You should have been on the workshop yesterday then. We had a fabulous time. So this is obviously a fuller image, but it's exactly the same principle. And you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to do all the yellow on all of them just to speed this up a little bit. How amazing that you can still see the paint underneath. Now, had we have gone the other way around, you might be wondering to yourself, had I have coloured these in first and then splattered the paint afterwards, the paint would then be sitting on top, which is why I wanted to do it first. I wanted the paint underneath. I'm speed colouring now, forgive me. But I'm doing this super quick so you don't get bored. I love drawing these stamps. Remember, these are drawn by me as well. I could show... Oh, I can't. I was going to say I could show me on the iPad, but I can't because it's got the camera on. These were drawn on the iPad, and I remember when I was doing them, the centres, I remember showing the design team saying, do you want dots in these? Because all these dots are done by hand, as you know. All these little dots on the stamp are all done by hand on my tablet. And I was praying that the design team would say, no, it's fine without them, but now they wanted them. After I've done these sunflowers, I'll just have a breather with you, just to get my breath back. But I'm hopefully showing you how easy it is to make a lovely little project using a mixture of products. Just Making sure it's dry before I rub over it. I don't do things in halves, do I? So that one, it's super quick. You know me well enough to know that I would probably spend a lot longer colouring this if I was making it from scratch or for myself. Oh, this is the last one. Super quick is more perfect than take your time. Oh, bless you. Yeah, it's your fault, Sass. Rob, why have you not got any of the chalky paints? Come on, get a set. They're absolutely amazing. Any set. And just remember my top tip if you're buying any kind of mediums, whether it's the paints, the luster powders, my top tip is if it's your first set, always go brighter or darker. So most people are instantly drawn to the pastel tones because they are the pretty colours. But my top tip for anybody who hasn't got any of my luster powders or chalky paints is to get a darker set or a brighter set, because it's easier to make them lighter by you mixing them with a bit of gesso or more water. It's easier to make dark colours lighter than it is to make light colours darker. That made sense in my head. So I'm just quickly whizzing through. Whiz, whiz, whiz. If you've ever struggled to colour a flower in, get sunflowers. Because they're the easiest in the world. So although I'm rushing, I am doing this quick, but I do have a plan. I do know what I'm doing. Honestly. The little paint splats underneath these pens look fantastic. I'm even more pleased with how they've come out than I thought I was going to be. So do remember that the sunflower stamps, all the inspiration from the design team is already on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, because these have been out, I can't even remember when I did them, last year I think, last summer. So there is a full album on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page with loads of inspiration from the design team and from myself. Which I think is fabulous for when you're trying something new. We're the same when we get new products. We'll look at them and then think, where do I start with that? So I've done that. So nearly finished. Can you see why I love yellow and orange? It looks gorgeous together. So workshop people, watercolour masterclass workshop people, we have got one of these sunflower stamps in our kits that we'll probably do next time. So you've seen me do this the quick way. So you could maybe have a go with your second image and spend a little bit more time. Just remember, when you do the centre, the part that I'm doing now, it needs to be a brightish orange, and then it gets toned down with the yellow again. God, do I never stop talking? Clearly not. I think I must get that from Karen. And last one, and then I've just got to blend them. I have no pens as I have a large collection. I missed the beginning of this, really intrigued to see it come together. It's not frozen for me. Refresh your page, Heather. It's definitely not frozen for me. Look how different it looks though once you add the colour to the sunflowers. So super quick. And now it's just blending them together again. So they're done. I'm going to pop that back on the screen for anybody who's just joined. So for anybody who's just joined, we are using the Sunflower Parade stamps. And when I say we, obviously I mean me. And as ever, for the Monday evening, which I think is something really nice, Karen has asked me what I'm using, and she has given you a 30% off code for any of the Sunflower Parade stamp collection. So you just need to put, when you're checking out, you just need to put the code sunflowers in the little codey thing, doodah, I don't know what they call it. You probably know that better than me, where you put the code, and then you'll get 30% off, which 30% is quite a decent discount. So I am doing this super quick. Don't tell me off. Oh, it's the last one. All I've got to do after this is, I don't know whether you can see this as I'm doing this, because I am doing this really quickly, but I don't, can you see how the, because I'm using the same yellow, the first colour that we put on, is making these much richer. Every time I go over it, look, it's adding the depth of colour to each of these petals. It's just incredible. I'll take that off before it drives everybody mad. So all I've got to do to this now is figure out where I want some of these little cogs. I might not even put a sentiment on because that's taken longer than I expected. But the little sunflower script sentiments are perfect for this. So let's just have a quick recap while I just catch my breath back. I'm not giving my watercolours. Promo code box, Phill. Thanks, Sharon. Right, so let's have a quick look at what I've just done in a matter of an hour and a bit. So we've done this from start to finish. All of these images are these 4 stamps. So the main focal images from the Sunflower Parade collection. So elegant, graceful, gorgeous and beautiful. Sounds like a girl group. So elegant, graceful, gorgeous and beautiful. We've got 8 panels, so I've used each stamp twice. Do you know what? I don't even think I'm going to put that on. I'm not going to put that on. It's going to spoil it. In fact, I'm wondering whether the cogs are going on. The cogs are perfect. So I'm just going to put these in the order that I want them. In the order that I want them. So I want one, bottom, side, bottom. Oh, look at that. Look how that's worked out. Love it. Get a breath, Phill. Get a breath, Phill. So now let's bring the cogs back in. They're all dry now. Ooh. Oh, apart from the ones I've just dropped on the floor. Oh. And for any men watching, if you've got shorts on and you drop something on your knee, don't try and catch it in your legs. Top tip. That's all I'm saying. So now we've got these cogs and gears. So I told you at the beginning that my plan has changed. So this just shows you how as a crafter our plans evolve. And it even happens for me. So I was originally going to do a watery background on these. So the original plan was to do the stencil and then to do a 3-tone watery background. But in actual fact, the fact that we've gone round these images, these focal images with the stencil and then splattered all over, it's just worked out even better. So I'm now going to put some of these cogs on. This one's not 100% dry. Can you have the link, please? Let me just see if I can find it, Tina. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, bear with me, everybody. Let me just get the link for the sunflower stamps. Copy and it really is K. It really is too much information. That's what happens when I'm high on migraine tablets. I do, Rita. I love cogs on cars, and it just shows you, because in these stamps, let me just quickly show you all. So if you look at these stamps, when I was originally prepping this demo, I was going to use the clocks and the things from the Notebook Botanicals set for the extras, but there are no cogs within these stamps at all. So introducing these is going to give us a different look. Now, before I put the cogs on, I just want to edge these. So I'm doing alternate. So we're having orange, and then yellow and yellow. And one of the reasons I'll do it this way, I love the VersaFine Clairs, particularly for this, is they are so juicy, way juicier than oxides. And you see how it bleeds in a little bit because they are so juicy. Oh, you can actually see how wet that still is. They're perfect for this. It's doing the distressing for us. I'm so professional, it's ridiculous. For anybody watching for the first time, yeah, it is kind of normal for us. We like crafting and banter. There are no airs and graces. But there is always amazing crafting from myself and from the design team and from everybody in our lovely little Facebook group, which I'm just going to pop on the screen while I'm doing the edges. So if you're not a member of our Facebook group, that is how you will find it. Search on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. Ask to join the group, because I don't let you in unless you ask to join and agree to my rules. Right, so because I've used the VersaFine Clairs, I'll just take that off. And we know that it's wet around the edges. I am just going to take a bit of kitchen roll. I'm just going to take a bit of kitchen roll and I'm just going to wipe that, because I don't want it to transfer. I don't want it to transfer onto my actual card when we get to that stage. It's actually not bad. It's drying. It's drying quite quickly. Who would have thought those 8 little panels at the beginning of this demo would end up looking like this? You could easily make these as A6 cards or DL cards, whatever you want. Remember to use the stamps in a different way. So none of these feature the full image, which I think is really good. It just shows you the versatility of these stamps. Did I do this one? I can't remember. So now I can see where I want to put some of these little cogs. And I'll just start with the top row. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So let's go here. Oh, I'm going to start at the bottom because it's easier while I've got everything next to me. Are these new ink colours? No, I don't think so, Dawn. I think these are from the original release. So Summertime and Cheerful, they're called. And it's really deceiving because Summertime is an absolutely gorgeous orange. If I show you the cover, can you see how different it is to the actual cover? It's a beautiful, beautiful, rich orange. And I get it. You can't do colours perfectly. So I'm going to go this side with this one. And I'm going to use my brush glue. So your common sense is already telling me not to use the big cogs where I've got more of the image showing. It's so warm in here, I'm just hoping that it doesn't dry too quick. Tweezers, where did I put you? So I'm going to pop half of that on. I'm going to chop the other half off. I'm going to chop the other half off. And I'm going to use the other half on the other side. So it's basically, look how fab that looks. It breaks up the splats. It's still the same colours. So I'll pop that over there. This one's got a bigger area, so it means I can use one of the bigger cogs. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm trying not to get my finger in the glue because I find that really frustrating when I take all this time to keep something nice and neat and then you get a bit of glue on your finger that spoils it. So we'll have, let's go less here. I'm just trying to keep the symmetry. Chop that off and pop that on the other side. now. It looks so good, this. What sunflower set have you used? Sorry, I've used all 4, Tina, I'm sorry. So I've used all 4 of the main images. So there are 8 panels. There are 8 panels, and I've used each one of the images twice. And you just stamp it in a different position to get a different look each time. So I'm going to whiz through this now. You know where my logic is. You know what I'm thinking. Smaller space, smaller cog. Larger space. That's too big. That's a bit too small, so I want one in between. That's the one. The cog dies are going to be gone before long, so I've got glue on my finger, which it really bugs me. And then all I've got to do to this, once I've done the cogs, is put it all together. You'll notice I've not used any of the small cogs yet. Well, I might do on here. Oh, this is a challenge, this one, look. That's what I'm doing. So we're going. Just like that. What's showing us sold out? The cogs. We did only have a couple left. The best thing I can tell you to do, if the cog dies are showing us sold out, the best thing I can tell you to do is to phone the shop and just see if they've got any extra stock in the shop. That's got to go at the bottom. Oh no, let's have it at the side. So they might have some hanging on the shelf in the actual shop. I can't take credit for this design, by the way. This little Concertina project is one that Lozzie did. It's one that Lozzie did. I've just made it bigger. So now I can have one of the big cogs. Oh, I'm spoilt for choice here. You always get the red bit from the red tape. Oh, I haven't used red tape for such a long time. I only really use glue nowadays. Yeah, do it first thing. What time did I tell you I was going to do this? Finish this demo. I'm going to try and get done for 8:30. Famous last words. But who cares when you're having fun? So we're going to have the smaller part here. Just do yourself a favour when you do it. If you're going to have a go at this project, just do yourself a favour when you're putting the cogs on. Make sure you do it halfway, look where the little spokes are, to make it easier to cut them. And just look over to the tube. Let's see what I've missed. Yeah, they do a bit. There are some cogs in one of them. Are they? 8:30. I know, Susan. I know. It's still no. It'll be my usual 9 o'clock time, but that's fine by me. So I've got two left. I'm going to try and find. That's not big enough, so it's got to be the bigger one. It's got to be the bigger one. So we're having bigger space. Did I get glue on that? No. Ignore me talking to myself. Half and half. It's a clever way to use the cog dies. Like I say, I can't take credit. Lozzie did it. Lozzie did it first. I've just done both sides. So the last one, I'm going to go there and there. And then because of the time, I'm not going to put the smaller ones on, but I'm just going to show you what I would have done. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Fill the bigger spaces with the extra small, the smaller cogs. So if you remember, some of these gaps are bigger than others. And that's just the way that I've added the stamps. That looks marvellous. So we don't actually need the smaller cogs, but if I was doing it again, I would probably add some more. So here we go. Here we go. Let's just make some space. I must have been thirsty because I've actually drunk most of my coffee. And it hasn't got a skin on it, which is absolutely a win-win. So back to the concertina. The little concertina. You can do as many panels on these as you like as well. So I'm just going to go back to how I had them, which was no, that's a bottom one. That's a bottom one. That's a bottom one. That's a top one. That's upside down. That should be that way. So that's how they should go. I'm just going to swap these two around. I'm going to no, I'm happy with that. So now I know which order I want them on the concertina. So starting from the front, I'm doing these on the front. This is going on first. M for Phill, M Martin. I've already told you what the M is. I've already told you, I think, what the M stands for. So let's just put this little concertina together. Remember, it's all flat. There's no foam tape on this, just to make sure that it folds nicely. So all of these panels are 14.5 by 6.5. So these panels are 14.5 high by 6.5 wide. So we'll, first panel, next one. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We should go yellow, orange, yellow, orange. So the sunflowers should all be in different positions for every panel. So if you start on the front panel like I just did, instead of opening your card up like that, if you start on the front panel, you should end up with an uneven it should be uneven to what you had on your layout, which is exactly what I've got though. So my next one is the orange from the other panel. Where are you? Here it is. You can't really do it wrong. It looks fab whichever way you put it together. So nearly done. So that's the front or the inside. We've got the back to do. So yellow. If I've done this right, we'll soon find out. I have. I've got the same sort of area on both sides. Yellow, orange. Yellow, orange. When have you ever known me make a flat project that you can actually physically fold and post? I don't think I've ever. I don't think I ever have. I don't think I ever have. So we've now got. Yeah, we do. I hope. We've now got our little concertina all finished. I'm not going to put any sentiment or anything on it because it is 9:15 and we're all getting a bit weary. So you could easily decorate this even more. So we've got concertina. So it opens like a little book both ways. Or you can have it on your shelf like that. You can have it on your shelf like that. Or you can have it on your shelf like that. How fab is that? And if you've got two, you can do them back to back and have an aperture in the middle. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I like it both ways. It's. Oh, you can do it. Oh, now I'm just messing. Stop me messing. Stop me messing. Can you take a screenshot? How, Saz? Saz, let me do it like this, and then I'll turn it over. Tell me when you've done it, Saz, and then I'll turn it over and do the other side. Love it, love it, love it. How gorgeous are those stamps? And you saw how quick it was for me to, just in from Zumba time to catch up. Oh, well done for getting your Zumba done in this heat. I'm impressed that you've managed to do that. So easy to do as well. Open. Like that. Stop messing. Bingo. I've only ever been to bingo once and I won, so I never went back. Tell me when you've done, Saz. She's trying to keep me organised, bless her. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Done. Thank you very much. So I'll just do a quick recap, and then we'll do a little giveaway. Obviously, I can't do the cog dies because we haven't got any. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the 2 backgrounds because they're probably what you haven't bought. So we're going to do decisions. I'll do the exquisite background on YouTube, which is my favourite. Oh, actually, I like them both. And we'll do the enchanting on Facebook. So let me do all my socials and what have you. So for anybody who's... I'm absolutely dripping in sweat, which is not a good look for me. Do you know what? I'm not even going to do the social... Oh, I am. No, I'm not. We'll do it another time. So the winners... So I'll choose a name randomly on YouTube. We'll do YouTube first. As ever, you need to send me a private message with your name and address and a reminder of what you've won. So just tell me the sunflower background stamp, please, because I will forget. So I'm going to go through all the comments, and just wherever my mouse stops, that's where my mouse is going to stop, and that's who has won this stamp. So I'm going over to YouTube. Here we go. So obviously the more you talk, the more times your name's on, the more chances you've got to win. So here we go. Good luck everybody on YouTube. So I'm just going to the top. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Who's in Tenerife? Joanne's in Tenerife. Well done for... Luckily the times are the same, aren't they? Hope you're having a good time, Joanne. So hang on a minute. Scroll, scroll, scroll. You never would guess it was the same stamp. Never would. Well, it's landed on Saz. So Saz, you can't win, unfortunately. So I'm going to the person that's below you, and that is Rob. Well done, Rob. See, all that yakking and talking's got your name on a lot. So you know the drill, Rob. You either need to send a message to the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, name and address, and just a reminder that you've won the exquisite background stamp. So thank you everybody on YouTube. I will see you live in our group this Thursday for a new happy hour. And for those of you that are not on Facebook, I will see you on Monday. Choking now. So thank you everybody. I will see you soon. And now over to Facebook. Incidentally, if you've already got this, if you've already got the stamp, just let me know when you send a message and we might change it. Thank you, Tony. I think thank you. Is it a good thing? So good luck everybody on Facebook. Again, if it happens again, if it falls on one of the design team or Karen, I'll go to the person whose name is below them. So good luck. You know the drill. Send me a name and address. Blah, 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 blah. So the mouse has landed on Tina James. How about that? So congratulations, Tina. You've won the enchanting background stamp. So you just need to send me a name and address in a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. So thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed that. My head is buzzing, and I don't know whether that's because I'm high on migraine tablets or because we've had a really lovely time. But either way, thank you very much. So treat yourself to some of these sunflower stamps. I'll just put the code on. The code does last, I think, until... Oh, I can't remember. I think it's Thursday. I think the code stays on until Thursday. So you've got time to treat yourself. So thank you, everybody. I will see you all on Thursday evening for our usual happy hour deal in our Facebook group. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.